Hi guys, you are welcome to Dr. Mo's blog. Today we are going to be talking about the benefits of crude palm oil. Now, depending on the processes through which the palm oil goes through before it gets to the consumer, you can have what is called extra virgin oil. The extra virgin oils, you do not expose the nuts or the seeds to any form of heating. So what you simply do is to pound it and extract the oil. Now, the benefits of extra virgin oils is that they retain all their phytonutrients, their polyphenols, and all the other beneficial molecules therein. The commonest form of palm oil that you find in the market, though, is the virgin palm oil or the crude palm oil. In the crude palm oil, what you do is that you expose the palm oil to some form of heat to free the oils from the mesocap. Then you pound them and you use water to extract the oil, from the palm nuts. Now, this oil is usually deep orange red in color. Finally, you have refined palm. You also have a refined palm oil. In this case, the oil is still red, but what the only process it undergoes is the removal of impurities in the oil to increase its shelf life. You also have what is called uh, processed palm oil. This is done usually at industrial scale, where they use solvents to extract the oil. The solvent that is usually used is hexene. They use this hexene, extract the oil, and they now pass the oil through several processes. First of all, they do a deacidification to remove the free fatty acids that will tend to make the oil spoil early. Then they bleach the oil. Now they use bleaching agents to remove all the carotenoids that are present in the palm oil that makes it red. And the palm oil becomes bleached and yellowish or transparent or translucent in, in color. So these are some of the processes that palm oil undergoes. So it undergoes deacidification, it undergoes uh, decolorization or bleaching. Then it may also uh, undergo deodorization, that is to remove odors that make the oil less palatable. Now, this form of industrial oil suffers the disadvantage that it removes most of the important phytonutrients, the carotenoids, that are present in palm oil, and therefore is not as useful as crude or virgin palm oil. Now, what are the benefits of crude palm oil? The first thing is that it contains 50% oleic acid, which is a monounsaturated uh, fatty acid. That's the same oleic oil that is the predominant oil that is found in olive oil. Then it also contains 10% monounsaturated oil. So 50% of the fatty acids in palm oil are monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. These are very good oils. They are the ones that are important to prevent atherosclerosis. Now, the remaining 50% of the fatty acids are saturated fatty acids. Palmitic acid and stearic acid will form about 46% of the oil, and the remaining 4% is formed by medium chain triglycerides, medium chain triglycerides. Now, another thing it contains that makes it be deep orange in color are the carotenoids. Carotenoids and the carotenes, alpha carotene, beta carotene, and gamma carotene. These are provitamin A. So when you take them, they are converted in the body into retinol, which is very important for vision. Another carotenoid that is present in palm oil is lycopene, which is the same thing that gives tomatoes and carrots their color. So crude palm oil is very rich in vitamin A and carotenoids. The next group of molecules that it contains are the vitamin E's. Now, it contains two main types of vitamin E. You have the classical vitamin E, which is called the tocopherols. So you have alpha, beta, and gamma tocopherol. But it also contains tocotrienols. Now, these tocotrienols form 70% of the vitamin E activity of palm oil is tocotrienol. Now, this tocotrienol has 50 times the potency of tocopherol. Now, apart from this, palm oil also contains a lot of polyphenols. The polyphenols that olive oil is popular for are also present in large quantities in crude palm oil. So these are some of the substances that are found in crude palm oil. It also contains phytosterols, ubiquinone, which is provitamin K, and coenzyme Q. All these things are very important phytonutrients that are present in crude palm oil that you may not find in other oils. One of the other things that is very important about crude palm oil is that it contains very little cholesterol, Only about 2% of the fat in crude palm oil is cholesterol. So, having gone through the contents of palm oil, what we're going to do now is I'm going to tell you the benefits of palm oil. The first benefit of palm oil is that it is rich in mono and polyunsaturated fats, which form up to 50%. So you have oleic acid, linolenic acid, and gamma linolenic acid. These are all mono and polyunsaturated fatty acids that are very good for the system. Number two, it contains the saturated fraction of this oil contains about 4% of medium chain transaminases, which is food for the brain. And the brain utilizes these medium chain transaminases effortlessly and is thought to benefit people with Alzheimer's disease and to prevent dementia. Now, the carotenoids and the provitamin A factors within palm oil are very important for eye and all the actions of vitamin A in the body. Apart from that, lycopene, one of the carotenoids that is found in palm oil that also helps to give it its color, is found to be helpful as a sunscreen. So if you take crude palm oil, just like tomatoes, 30 minutes before you go out into the sun, it acts as a sunscreen and prevents the absorption of ultraviolet radiation into your body, which is carcinogenic. Apart from that, lycopene itself is known to be a anti-cancer, have anti-cancer properties. Now, the next group of molecules that are there are the vitamin E's. You know that the vitamin E is an antioxidant that is good for the heart, it's good for fertility. But most importantly, it contains the tocotrienols, which are 50 times more potent than the traditional vitamin E. In fact, it is the only natural, the highest natural source of tocotrienols. Now, what is the benefit of tocotrienols? Tocotrienols, the antioxidant activity is so potent that if you take it 30 minutes to before or after, or to a few hours before or after a stroke, it prevents brain damage. Therefore, where if you take high levels of tocotrienols, which form 70% of the vitamin E in palm oil, it's likely to prevent you from having residual neurological deficits after stroke. It also has a low cholesterol, so it is unlikely to allow accumulation of cholesterol within the body. Another thing about palm oil is that it contains a lot of polyphenols. Now, these polyphenols, you know their action. They are very important for preservation of life and for other body functions. And it is for the polyphenols in olive oil that makes olive oil very popular. It's also the polyphenols in green tea and coffee that makes them very popular. So palm oil contains a lot of polyphenols. Crude palm oil can also be used to reduce absorption of fat-soluble poisons when they are ingested. So you can imagine that somebody takes an organophosphate insecticide or a poison that is fat soluble. When a patient is given palm oil to drink, it tends to reduce the absorption of these oils into the system, after which a gastric lavage can be done to remove the oil and the poison. So these are the benefits of crude palm oil. Now, crude palm oil has been given a bad name in the past because people thought that, oh, it's saturated fat. But because of all these other vital things that it contains, it tends to make up for the amount of saturated fat that you find in it. However, processed palm oil removes all these benefits. When you process palm oil and you bleach it, you deodorize it, you deacidify it, you are removing all these beneficial factors from the oil. And even though the oil may taste better, may last longer on the shelf, and may be more aesthetically pleasing, it is not as nutritious as crude palm oil. Now, how do you eat crude palm oil? The best way to eat it is to cook it, not to fry it. So it's not advisable to fry things with crude palm oil. So you use crude palm oil to cook. You don't use it to fry. And once you use it to fry once, it is not good to reuse anymore because you would have destroyed all the phytonutrients, all the carotenoids, and all the other essential factors that would have protected you against the saturated fats. Furthermore, you may have converted it through the process of heating into trans fats. All the fat in palm oil is cis oils, not trans oil. So by heating it repeatedly, you can convert it to trans fat. And trans fat tends to accumulate in the body and cause disease. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like it, and hit the notification bell so that each time I make another video, you will be notified. Thank you very much.